Okay. So have you ever like gotten that feeling right?
Yeah.
Yeah. When you want to say something, but you just like, freeze up.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've all been there.
Yeah.
And that's actually exactly what we're going to be diving into today.
Uh-huh.
Um, looking at this really interesting podcast that was all about how to be more confident when you're speaking English.
Right.
But the cool thing is even if you're not learning English like me,
Totally. Yeah.
these tips are useful for anyone.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm excited to get into this.
Yeah, me too.
So in this podcast, they were talking to this woman, Lisa, and she was saying that she understands English, but when it comes to actually speaking, she gets nervous.
Oh, yeah. That's so common, though.
I know.
It's like you hit a wall.
Yeah, it's a wall.
Exactly.
It's like, what is that?
Well, it's just like when you think about it, like even learning to drive.
Oh, yeah.
Remember when you first got behind the wheel?
Oh, my gosh, yes.
It's terrifying.
Oh, scary.
And it's that same like psychological thing happening where it's like, I don't want to mess up.
Right.
I don't want to look stupid.
Right.
And so you just kind of freeze up.
Right, yeah.
And with speaking, it can be the same thing.
I think so, too. And like even like if you're speaking your native language.
Oh, absolutely. It's the same
Public
thing.
speaking is like one of the most common fears that people have.
Totally.
So, yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. So one of the things that they talk about in this podcast is role-playing.
Oh, interesting.
And they had her do this like role-playing exercise where she had to like pretend to introduce herself to someone new.
Okay.
And I thought that was such a good idea.
I like that because it's low stakes, right?
Totally.
You can kind of practice it and get it right and,
Yeah, no one's going to judge you.
No one's judging you exactly. And you can kind of get like a muscle memory for that interaction. So when you're actually in that situation, it's like, I've done this before. Totally. Yeah, I've done this a million times.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So smart.
I know. I love that. So they actually like had her give like her initial introduction.
Okay.
And it was pretty basic. It was like, hi, my name's Lisa. I'm from India. I love reading books and learning new things.
Okay.
Just like very like standard.
Right.
Polite, but not very like memorable.
Yeah. Not going to stand out.
Yeah, exactly.
In a crowd.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So then they had her kind of like spice it up a bit.
Okay. I like it.
And add some more details.
Okay.
So her new intro was, hello, my name is Lisa. I'm from India, and I've been learning English for 2 years. I enjoy reading and improving my communication skills.
Wow, what a difference.
I know, right?
Just adding those little details.
Yeah.
Makes it so much more interesting.
I know. It's like suddenly she's like a real person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you can connect with her more.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you know more about her.
Yeah. And you know what's so cool about this is like, this could apply to anyone.
Right.
Or even if you're not an English learner.
Yeah.
Like when you think about how you would introduce yourself to someone at a party versus, a job interview.
Right.
Like totally different. Right.
Totally different vibes.
Yeah.
Totally different details you would include.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so another thing that they talked about in this podcast were these like simple phrases that you can use that can really like elevate your communication.
I love a good phrase.
I know, me too.
Like a power phrase.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And the 3 that they talked about were, how's your day going?
Okay.
That sounds great. And could you repeat that, please?
Ooh, I like these.
I know, right? And it's so funny because like when you think about it, they're so basic.
Right. They're simple.
Yeah.
But they're powerful.
Yeah.
Because like, how is your day going?
Yeah.
It's so much better than how are you?
It's so much more engaging.
It is,
It's like you actually care
Yeah.
how their day is going.
Exactly.
And it invites them to tell you more.
Yes.
It's not just like, oh, fine.
Right.
Like you actually want to know what's going on.
And that sounds great. I feel like that's such a good one to use too.
It's positive, right?
Yeah.
It just like adds a little bit of energy and enthusiasm to the conversation.
Exactly.
And it kind of like validates the other person too.
It does. So it's nice.
And then could you repeat that, please?
Oh, that's such a good one.
Yeah.
Because I feel like sometimes you're like, I don't want to say I don't understand.
Right.
But I need them to repeat that.
Yeah.
And that's like such a polite way.
Yeah, it is. It's so polite.
To just be like, hey, can you say that again?
Yeah.
I didn't quite catch it.
Exactly. So yeah, they also had this like challenge in this podcast.
Okay, a challenge. I love it.
That they gave to the listeners, which was to try to use one of these phrases
Okay.
in a conversation that day.
I love that.
Like not tomorrow.
Yeah.
not next week,
Yeah, yeah.
today.
Yeah, get on it.
Yes, exactly. And I feel like that's so important
I think so too.
because it's like, we can learn all this stuff,
Yeah.
but if we don't actually implement it,
Right.
it's useless,
Totally. It's like you have to take action
Yeah.
for it to actually like make a difference.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think like the big takeaway
Yeah, what's the big takeaway?
for me from all of this
Yeah.
is that even these tiny little changes in like the way we phrase things
Yeah.
can make a big difference
They can.
in how we communicate with people
Absolutely.
and how confident we feel.
And how other people perceive us too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's really cool.
Yeah, I love that.
So I'd love to know, like,
Yeah.
for you listening right now, what is like one area
Yeah.
of communication where you feel like you could be more confident?
Ooh, good question.
Yeah. Or like, what's one thing you could do differently?
Yeah. Is there a phrase that like,
Right.
you could try, or like a situation that you're always dreading
Yeah.
that you could like practice
Yes.
and get better at? Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. So I think it's cool to kind of think about that
Totally.
and, challenge yourself to just be a little bit more confident
Yeah,
in your communication.
I love it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. Well, that's it for our deep dive today.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Thank you so much for listening.
Thanks for having me.
We'll see you next time.
See you later. Bye.